Hey guys, thank you for joining me today for what is to be the very first comparison video I do on two different whiskies from the same distillery. So today we have the Glencadam 10, the rather delicate, versus the Glencadam 15, the rather dignified. Let's jump in. Now that I have a few different expressions from certain distilleries, I thought it would be really fun and interesting to do some comparison videos between different expressions from the same distillery. So today we're going to jump into the Glencadam 10 versus the Glencadam 15. So we are going to pour ourselves a dram of each, compare the two on the nose, compare the two on the palate, compare them as value for money, and ultimately decide which one comes out on top. Let's begin. If you haven't already seen, I've done individual reviews for both whiskies and you can check those videos out as well. Okay, so you can see the color on the Glencadam 10. Very light, pale, straw-like. Now I should mention, both of these whiskies are non-chill filtered, natural color, and both bottled at 46% ABV. So the only real difference in this comparison, or the main difference, comes down to the age statement. Now they may well be bottled or matured in different barrels. I'm not sure, so if you know, please let me know in the comments below. But for this comparison, we're going to be considering the difference between the age statements. So this here is the Glencadam 15 on your left, my right. Also very light in color. And again, the Glencadam 10 on my left, your right. I hope I've got that correct. Okay, so very similar in color. There is nice element of haze. You can see a little bit of sediment in each of the glasses, which is lovely, very much reflective of the non-chill filtered whiskey. The 15 has just a little more color, not a great deal, but a slight difference, enough that you can just notice it. So let's start with the 10 on the nose. I really enjoy the nose on the Glencadam 10. It's lovely. I get lots of pear, fresh grass, loads of malt, and it also has a bit of that oak influence as well. Okay, let's compare the nose on the 15. It's more full. There's more of it feels more dense on the nose of the 15. Very similar note, more advanced, a little more robust, more developed perhaps. The similar notes, less of the pear note. I'm getting more of this dark, rich honey and lots of malt and oakiness, almost like a deeper, darker, richer and fuller, more developed version of the 10. Very similar. The nose itself suggests oiliness and viscosity to it. Very much, the 10 has, it's almost like the honey is underdeveloped. That's the note that is what appears on my nose to be the one that's the developed scent. So there's a very much a light honey on the 10. Both equally gorgeous, right? Just little variation. And a little more of a denser honey. The pear note is here too, but it's almost like a not like a fresh pear. It's more of a cooked pear on the 15-year-old. Let's try the 10 on the palate. That's lovely. Just a good whiskey, right? You can't fault a whiskey that's natural color, non-chill filtered, and bottled at 46%. It's perfectly packaged for the whiskey enthusiast. Very similar notes to what I'm finding on the nose. Lots of pear, fresh cut grass. You're getting malt. You're getting a little bit more of the distillate, the youth in it. There's a little bit of the prickliness, the bite of the alcohol. Even though 46% ABV isn't, cask strength, there's still the youthfulness in the 10 coming through. It still has the spirit character is very prominent. Now I have a little bit of water. And let's try the Glencadam 15 on the palate now. All right, cool. So I think the naming, the terminology they've used on the Glencadam 10, and my mouth is watering, and the Glencadam 15 has nailed it, right? The 10 being the rather delicate. It's almost that the oak influence is the delicate portion. It's only making its presence felt just coming in, right? It's very much spirit driven on the 10. On the 15, the rather dignified, it has that feel of a little more of a dignified whiskey with a bit more maturity, and naturally it does, being 5 years older. It has more of the barrel influence. The new make, that prickliness from the 10 is gone. It's more refined, more well-rounded, more of a richer, deeper note that gives you the sense of the quality of the Glencadam 15 being up a notch from the 10, as you'd expect. More honey notes. As I said earlier, that it's almost as if the honey is the developed note, that the honey's gone from a very light and floral honey to a deeper, richer Manuka type honey, really robust, right? The transition between the two, lots of maltiness, the nice kick of the 46% ABV. The mouthfeel on the 15 is superior to the 10-year-old Glencadam. If I had to decide between the two, I would take the 15 every single time. But if we're talking the value proposition of the two, when I picked up the Glencadam 10, I got it for $100 Australian, and the Glencadam 15 cost me $150 Australian. So a significant difference between the two. But for me, I would probably shell out the extra $50 and savor and enjoy the 15. It's very lovely. It feels like once you've had the two together, you can sort of see where the 10 is going. The 10 is great in its own right, and exceptional value for money whiskey at $100 for a non-chill filtered natural color and 46% ABV. That's great value and should be in anyone's eyes. The 15, the same approach, non-chill filtered, natural color, bottled at 46% ABV, but just a little more depth with the maturity of the whiskey, and giving a nicer mouthfeel, a little more full-bodied, and the spirit and the barrel are much more well integrated on the 15. So thank you guys for checking out my very first comparison video. I'll be doing more of these kind of videos as well. So be sure to like the video and let me know if this is a format that you are interested in. And please subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to doing more of these tasting and reviews and comparisons with you soon. Glencairn, whatever age it is, grab yourself a bottle. They make great whiskey. So here's to you guys. Cheers.